Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 2021 Sierra Cars RX3. Now this has 328 horsepower, 193 pounds-feet of torque from a 1340cc turbocharged inline-4 engine, and the car itself weighs 1042 pounds. It came with off-road suspension as standard, but it now has all-wheel drive and off-road tyres, which are now wider as well than the original tyres, and it can do 0 to 60 in 2.240 seconds, 0 to 104.894 seconds, and going to a top speed of 144 miles an hour. And you can see that the stats are all pretty damn good. Acceleration, launch, braking, and off-road ability are all great. Handling is decent, especially for a car that doesn't weigh all that much. It's not going to have much weight to lug around. So the handling, even though it's not the best, it's not got much to impede it. The speed isn't obviously all that great. It can get up to 144 in no time at all. So yeah, any of the longer, more speed-orientated sections it might well suffer at. But yeah, this is built for going off-road. The engine, though, we couldn't swap out. It's a Suzuki Hyabusa engine from a sports bike, so we couldn't actually swap that out. But it is still got well over 130 horsepower more than it had originally. So it's still a lot of horsepower in a car that weighs barely any more than it is standard. So yeah, this has the agility of a housefly as well. So it should hopefully be pretty quick, even though it's not got anywhere near the amount of horsepower that any other car has on this series so far. By how much it's going to be good, we'll have to see. Now this is also the lightest vehicle that we've had on this series, even more so than the Renault 4L, which was the original lightest vehicle, by more than 100 pounds in fact. But obviously that Renault had way more in the way of horsepower than we did, or we do. But that was also the slowest car that we've had, so I don't imagine this will be as slow as that, because it does have more in the way of off-road capability, and it is obviously a far more modern vehicle. Some understeer, which I guess is no surprise. It was never meant for all-wheel drive or such large and thick tyres at the front. Oh dear, yeah, we messed up a little bit there. Luckily we did get the checkpoint. Because it doesn't have the most amount of weight behind it, grip can be lost and gained in no time at all. It's got such a long amount of its suspension travel. So you have to really be on your A game when it comes to any of the bumps and the jumps. So yeah, unfortunately this does not have much power at the higher end of its revs. But up to about 125 it's still pretty quick. Final corner. And there we go. Hopefully we are not going to be the slowest that we've had on this series so far. No, we're not, at 3 minutes 31.053. In fact, we are the 6th fastest car that we've had so far, beating the likes of the Duberti F150 Pre-Runner, the Nissan Pickup Rally Raid from the previous episode, the Subaru STI S209, the Renault 8 Gordini, and of course the Renault 4L Export. So yeah, fairly decent, but the fact it's, you know, a purpose-built off-roader means that I would have expected it to have been slightly quicker than the more on-road variants of cars that we've already seen on this series. Because, you know, the likes of a McLaren GT, Aston Martin Valhalla, and a DeLorean DMC12 certainly not meant for doing this kind of stuff, and yet they are quicker. I just think the fact that it's not got that much in the way of horsepower is really what let it down. Because on the whole, it was really rather good. Obviously, it got away from us a couple of times, but that's just because of it has so much suspension travel, so little in the way of weight to hold that suspension down, that it's easily thrown about and yeah, easily loses grip at times. But yeah, when it's on its A game, it's really, really good. It's really rather agile. It's really rather quick to get up to around 125 miles an hour. And yeah, the immediate acceleration is pretty good as well. It's just a shame we can't give it more power, or at least swap out a more powerful engine into it. But yeah, that's just the way it is sometimes. You can't always win on every front. But still, the fact it's far from the slowest is always a good thing. And yeah, 6th place is hardly a bad showing. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.